guys have a great. Ishmael Salas had a great game plan for Yordenis Ugas to face Manny Pacquiao. I'm going to say this right now. You guys did a better job beating Manny Pacquiao than Floyd Mayweather. But Ishmael Salas basically took everything that Floyd Mayweather did to Manny Pacquiao in his fight and allowed the skilled Dennis Ugas to do that. Dennis Ugas mostly fought Pacquiao, had established the range with the jab and the right hand. Dennis Ugas' bicep was a factor in this fight because later on down the fight, you notice he wasn't using it as much. He was using the right hand more. But um, body punching, body punching, great stuff with the Dennis Ugas. Great body punching. He understood the angles that Pacquiao was going to come at him with, so he was certain direction. Always in front of Pacquiao. I thought foot an issue. It's not an issue because again, pivot work took away all of that. So and Dennis Ugas was pretty quick actually. He was pretty quick for Pacquiao. Shout out to you, Dennis Ugas. You overcame the bicep injury. Can fight through anything. You did it as a true champion. Dennis Ugas, I gotta give my hats off to you, brother. I'm happy for you. I'm glad I didn't smash you. I'm glad that you did your due diligence, do homework with Ishmael Salas. A hell of a trainer. Hell of a trainer. Cuban trainer. Hell of a an excellent job with Yordenis Ugas. This man is getting all he deserves. Manny Pacquiao came on strong in the later parts of the fight, which is kind of ironic. He threw a lot more punches. A lot of the punches were blocked. Pacquiao was messed up. He got a cut on his, I think, on his left. Was swollen from punches from Dennis Ugas. Ugas had a slight cut on his. Let me see. Wait a minute. I might be this wrong because I might be seeing a mirror image myself, but I think Dennis Ugas had his left eyelash. Um, Not a cut. So Pacquiao was landing. Don't get me wrong. Pacquiao was landing in straight left. Was able to take it. I think because of the angle at which Pacquiao was throwing the punches, because Pacquiao was actually circling to his right, which he generally circles to his left, so he generates more power off his punch. Whereas when he's circling to his right, it's kind of awkward to get the power of the punch like he wanted to. Again, both guys can shoot with either hand. They can lead with either hand. Pacquiao was leading with either hand. He was starting to slip through Dennis Ugas' shots, steal the right hand of Dennis Ugas, scoring at will. And Ugas was trying to get him out of there in the 12th. And Pacquiao, though, he came back. He was fighting, and Ugas's left bicep, you could tell it was a problem, right? But he was fighting through it. Initially, in the beginning, he was really popping the jab, had the jab, feinting the jab and all that shit to keep Pacquiao at bay. He got the range he wanted, and then he started popping the right hand. Tail Pacquiao was really launching, ripping some really shots Pacquiao. One time, he hit Ugas, and Ugas had to back off. He had to back off to the ropes. So the fight actually took place mostly at the center of the ring. Ugas wasn't trying to push. Pacquiao tried every little trick in the book, started to set traps for Ugas, and came through for Ugas when he started fighting him, when he really started throwing a whole bunch of punches and just going from different angles at him. And he was able to slip punches through and some shots. But Ugas took them pretty well. Pacquiao took them as well. But Ugas worked the body, so he kind of slowed down Pacquiao. Coming to, I think, like round 4, round 5, Pacquiao was kind of inactive for a while because shots, man. But Pacquiao's a tough, sturdy dude, man. So shots, and he still generated all that torque, all that power, and all those punches. But there was a certain point where we were just standing in front of Ugas for a moment, and I think that was because it zapped him with body punching. And then in the later rounds, Ugas wasn't throwing so much. One was really throwing, and he won those rounds based on activity mostly, even though he did slip in some shots. And then coming down the stretch, 12th was really critical rounds. Ugas the heavier shots, clearly. He was landing the heavier shots, the cleaner shots. He wasn't doing it as often. In the 12th round, Ugas picked it up. Now, they started having some great exchanges, by the way. Ugas wasn't backing down from shit. They would trade. Body Pacquiao go to the head and the body. They was trading, okay? It up. So what can I say about Pacquiao? Everybody's saying that Pacquiao's old. No, it's not that he's old. It's that they solved the mystery. Ugas and Ishmael Salas solved him just like how Floyd solved, and they both beat him the same way Floyd beat him, but just better. Pacquiao's clever and everything, but Ugas and Salas, they had a great game plan for Pacquiao. great game plan, and pretty much turn him uh, anti-clockwise, and you cut off the angles. It's pretty much what Teofimo Lopez did to Lomachenko. And again, Lomachenko came on late. Pacquiao came on. Was a reasonably close fight. Pacquiao has nothing of in this loss. And for the OGs out there, Manny Pacquiao, I really you do us proud. You showed us that you could fight at the highest level. There's no excuses, Manny Pacquiao. Don't even worry about it. We got you. We got your back. Nobody got knocked out. Uh, Nobody really got fight. They both were well conditioned. It was just it was just a tactical fight in which two really prime guys, one known injury. Again, I'm not even gonna front. I know Ugas had a bicep injury. We could see that. And as the fight went on, we saw the effects of the bicep injury where he wasn't actually popping his jab that much. And I give Pacquiao for, working the body, working the head. Even when Ugas is up and he's only punching the guard, he's punching the guard, man. I love that about Pacquiao. Um, this fight, there's no excuses. No excuses for anybody. Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be discouraged by this. I think he should have one more fight in the Philippines against somebody of his choice. And this game is very, very punishing, very rigorous. I know he loves fighting. You can tell Pacquiao fighting. Even at the end of the fight, Pacquiao looked like he still had energy. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, I'm glad he didn't face Errol Spence. Errol Spence has a lot more power than Ugas. Ugas is a big, strong guy, but Errol would have killed him. Errol would have killed him. You know? So I'm against Errol Spence, actually. And I'm glad, you know, with this loss, I hope he looks introspectively at it and say, you know what, I had a good and probably face, somebody easy, an easier opponent, much easier opponent. Not even Mikey Garcia. Like face somebody, just a farewell fight. Say you won the fight, and get out the game. You know what I mean? Because these guys are solving you, and it's a whole new generation, which is just than the previous generation. You saw Ugas do a better job than Floyd Mayweather. We're in a better generation than the one before. And I try to explain to people, boxing as a sport evolves. And so what you end up with is a generation than the last generation. People just don't understand that. They keep on going back to years ago and 80 years ago and 40 years ago. And they don't realize that the guys today have improved on those guys. They don't realize that. You know what I mean? So Yordenis Ugas always been a top welterweight, and you got the respect you deserve. You're gonna be up there. You're gonna be in the top two, top three welterweights. And Ugas versus Spence looks like it's gonna come up next. Can recover from his eye injury, which more than likely he will. Unfortunately, Pacquiao, he's not gonna be facing Spence, and that's the way how this game goes. Boxing is very unpredictable. I was absolutely wrong about Pacquiao winning. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You all saw my latest videos where I'm riding with Ugas a little bit, because of his bicep injury. And I'm so glad, in spite of that injury, he was able to win the fight. And I'm sure this confidence and his happiness. And shout out to Ugas again. Yeah, you moved me wrong, which I'm not really too disappointed about. I'm glad that Pacquiao got out the game without a whole bunch of injuries, no knockout. He didn't knocked out. He represented himself very well. It was a very competitive fight. It was a pretty close fight because his activity was more than Ugas's. Kind of remind me of Pacquiao versus Clottey, except Clottey was clocking him. I'm talking about Ugas being Clottey. He was really clocking him. You know what I'm saying? Ugas was really teeing off. And I'm saying, Pacquiao's a sturdy dude, but you can't take that all the time. You can't be taking T all the time. You know what I mean? But I think he should have one more fight in the Philippines or even wherever he wants to have it, and bid farewell. Because like I said before, this is a living legend. You're never going. It's hard. Guys come once every 20 years, every 40 years, and you're not gonna see Manny Pacquiao just like that. You know what I mean? It's not just gonna happen. Guys, give him his flowers now. You know what I mean? Mayweather, great fighter, and we're probably not going to see Mayweather fight. Another fight. His fights are fewer and fewer between. People be clowning Mayweather. Don't clown him, man. Mayweather, some of the greatest fighters ever in the history of boxing. You see greatness that you don't realize and appreciate how great it was. And even though Pacquiao was sold by Ugas, it's because Ugas had abilities. Ugas showed me so much, and I'm so this fight with Ugas and Pacquiao. I'm very happy. Ugas, especially that he's very much validated. He is the WBA now, even though the WBA was doing crap. Pacquiao faced a hit from him, so now he's the official WBA super champ. This man has just beaten a legend, which means Yordenis Ugas is stock and everything has just gone up through the roof. Yordenis Ugas is up there with Terrence Crawford and with Errol Spence. He's the first guy to beat Manny Pacquiao, the PBC bunch, and he's up there now. He's really up. And I gotta say, man, all the trials and tribulations, decisions, and so on, it paid off because he faced Sean Porter, prepared him for Manny Pacquiao. I remember saying that. I said, don't count Dennis Ugas out and before. So I'm just happy to thank both guys for giving us a hell of a fight. Tactical fight, just like Mayweather versus Pacquiao was a tactical. Nonetheless, it was a hell of a fight. And Ugas fought a hell of a fight. And man, I can't wait to see Ugas versus Errol Spence. That's gonna be interesting because I know that will come up next. If not Errol Spence, it'd probably be Ugas versus Terrence Crawford or one of he gonna have all those big fights to get. He got Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, everybody. Well, not Sean Porter because he beat. Well, he may want that rematch with Sean Porter. Who knows? But yeah, Dennis Ugas for the big money now. You in for the big money, boy. You in the big leagues. So shout out to him. I'm gonna talk to y'all guys about something else and debunk some crap that I've been hearing out there. But until then, I'm what you need.